Hello and welcome to Grade Expectations. I'm your host, Grade, and today I wanted to go through some of the comics that I'm going to be submitting to CGC. So, basically, what I do is I buy comic books generally online. I go through like Facebook Marketplace, eBay, and just like local pickup. And I'm looking for good condition comic books. Certainly, I have a list in my head of, maybe 40 books that I'm interested in buying. I ignore all the crap and I kind of accumulate comic books. Once I have enough that it's worthwhile to send into CGC, I send them in. So, what I generally do is when I buy a comic book, I have a box that says CGC, and I take a look at the comic book. If it's just mint condition and I think it's a good 9.8 candidate, then I have it in one side of the box. If I think that it's in good condition but it needs a press to really make it a 9.8 contender, I put it on the other side of the box. So I'm going to show you, I have two stacks of comics here that I'm going to be submitting. I'm a couple books short, so I have some coming in, and that should put me over 50, and then I'm going to send in 50 comic books. 25 are going to be going right to 9.8 screen, pre-screen, and then 25 are going to be pressed and cleaned and then submitted to CGC for a 9.8 pre-screen. I'm not 100% on the second group going for 9.8. I have a couple comics that I know won't make it, so we're going to see what I do with those. So let's start off. So the first pile is comics I think are 9.8s that will make the pre-screen. So first up, War of the Realms, New Agents of Atlas. This is a great spec book, and you've seen it probably on the internet a lot more lately. It's first appearance of Snow and Luna, and it's just a more international, diverse comic group. With with characters like this, it is definitely spec because we really haven't seen them in anything. They haven't been in movies, haven't been in on TV or in cartoons that I'm aware of. But we just saw Taiguchi in Taskmaster 3 kind of go off on spec just because it's a new character in a new market. And certainly we know Disney's an international company, it's a behemoth, and they're going to want to put out content for the rest of the world instead of just North America. And New Agents of Atlas could be a good place to start. So it's a pre-existing team. It's got like it's who's it got? It's got the new Hulk, Amadeus Cho, and what's her name? Silk. And it's certainly a good spec book. So I have two copies that I got for about $10 each out of a like a local comic bin, and I think this is a good spec, and certainly it's going for over 100 in CGC 9.8. So I have two of those to submit. Next is Daredevil 25. I bought this on eBay as soon as the comic came out, and we saw the reveal at the end that Daredevil was now uh, going to be Elektra. And I thought it was cool, and I think the cover is fantastic. So I picked up one of those. Everyone knows this cover by now, Spider-Man 55. This is the first print, the white one. I bought a few of these on pre-sale, so just on eBay, $5 each, and bought them as soon as I saw the cover. I wish I bought a hell of a lot more because obviously the comic has kind of gone off, but this one is a really good 9.8 candidate. I sold a couple of the other ones because they did have some rubbing, and you know make good money selling a $5 comic for $30. So I did it. Next, Champions #1. This is the second print Kamala Khan edition, and this is a hard comic book to find. When it came out, there was a little bit of buzz, and the prices went up to $25. And since then, I wouldn't say they've moved at all, but the cover's fantastic, and low print run and hard to find. So I think I would like to see this one on my wall. Next is a comic I overpaid for. This is Miles Morales Spider-Man #1. This is the 1 in 10 animation variant. And I saw a 9.6 go for like $100. And I wasn't actually actively watching it, so I lost out on that auction. And then this one came up, and the seller was saying it was guaranteed 9.8. Looked fantastic in the pictures, and so I ended up overpaying. Now it's not an overpay. If I do get a 9.8 on it, then I save, over $100. But I kind of gambled on this one, and it does look fantastic. So I'm hoping for a 9.8 on that one. Next, Wolverine Black, White, and Blood. This is the 1 in 25 or 1 in 50. This is actually the error version. So a couple of the pages in here are from a Venom comic book instead of the Wolverine comic book. So I believe this was recalled. And I picked it up. I'm a big Wolverine fan. I thought the cover was cool, and it's an error. It's a hard to get comic, and it was pretty cheap. It was like $20. So I think I've seen a couple of these go for more money since. Next, Miles Morales Spider-Man #6. So this is the A cover, and this is the first appearance of Starling. And this comic has kind of taken off a little bit more. I used to see them at maybe $30, and now they're going closer to 40 or 50. And obviously, Starling is a Miles Morales character. There really aren't that many, other superhero characters with Miles Morales in his comic books. Daughter of the Vulture, and she's in the Champions. So I'm, I thought I'd spec on this a little bit just to see if she takes off. Department of Truth #1. I have not read this comic book. I've heard good things, optioned for a show of some kind, and obviously there's been a lot of buzz, so I'm going to submit the one copy I do have. Next. I love this comic book. This is Venom #30. Peach Momoko, which one is it? Yellow Snow exclusive. And I have the trade as well as the Virgin version of this comic book. I think I don't love everything that Peach Momoko does, but I think this comic cover is just fantastic. So I'm going to CGC these ones, and I'll keep the Virgin and sell the trade. Next, Wolverine #6, first appearance of Solemn. Solemn just disappeared after the X of Swords, but there was a lot of hype with him being, the next big Wolverine villain, and we'll see what happens with this. So I would assume this is the Unknown Comics. This is a Virgin version of it. I have the trade as well. Really, this comic hasn't gone off. It hasn't gone up in price, and to be honest, it might have gone down a little bit from when I bought it. But it's a longer term play because really Solemn is nobody until he shows up at some point. Next, Something is Killing the Children. This is not the amazing first print. This is the foil free comic book day version. So I bought a couple of these. I actually bought 4 of these, and then 2 of them that I received on eBay were just mangled, and I returned them to the seller. Like, he's saying near mint unread, and they just had major damage. So they were pretty upset that I returned them, but don't send crap, I guess is my response to that. But anyway, I'm gonna CGC one of them. I like would like to sell one and kind of get my money back on these. Next, so with I've already done a video on Strange Academy. I was watching Reggie Collects, and he was going through the top 10 comics that have been submitted to CGC, I think in December, and Strange Academy one was number 6 on the list, and I really do want to do my part and make sure that we pump those numbers up, because number 6 is kind of rookie numbers to me. So I'm going to show some of the Strange Academy ones that I'm submitting. So first of all, I have 3 copies of Strange Academy number 2, the A cover. Um, One Strange Academy, the character spotlight with Doyle Dormammu on there. This just went under my radar when number 2 came out, and I thought it was a really cool cover, but I didn't actually buy one. And then I found that they were, I realized after that the character spotlights were probably being under ordered compared to the A covers, etc. And I think they're pretty awesome now that we've seen 8 of them or 9 of them. So anyway, I'm getting this one. Next, I have 3 copies of the 1 in 25 Strange Academy number 4. This is their scavenger hunt, or no, their tag game where they go interdimensional and hide and seek or play tag or whatever. And I think it is the first appearance of the Hollow. Although I've seen on the internet, like 6 might be, but the Hollow's definitely in this one. There's also a weird cat thing, and I think that's going to be important later on in the comic. We don't know what's going on with that or who it is or what it is, but um, this is his first appearance as well, and I'm assuming it's a him, so that might be presumptuous as well. But I have 3 of these going in. That comic is still pretty cheap, and I'm surprised because the Strange Academy one, everyone hypes it up like crazy, and it's gone up significantly in the last year. Whereas number 4 with the Hollow and really the only villain of that series so far, um, it's still $25 for that comic. So I don't know. Next, Strange Academy number 1. I have 2 copies here that I know are 9.8s. This comic you can still find unread, mint condition, and I think 6 months from now, a year from now, that's not going to be the case. I remember when I started collecting comics again, and I one of the comics that I was targeting was Kamala Khan's first full appearance, and so that's All New Marvel Now .1, and I was able to buy a couple of those copies in pretty good condition. Like they're almost all of them are banged up on the corners, but like unread copies. And since maybe the fall, I haven't seen a single one anywhere. I haven't seen it go up for sale on eBay. Nothing. It just dried up. And right now, you can still buy Strange Academy number 1, in unread condition and really, CGC worthy. So I do target that comic book. And finally, the J. Scott Campbell version of Strange Academy 1. I have this in the Virgin. I have the regular, and I have it with the signed Virgin, all in 9.8 already. But you know, I love that cover, and so I am buying those. I would suggest that one is undervalued, and the Virgin is definitely undervalued. When you see the A cover going for like $250, and that one's going for 125. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me because this cover is just fantastic. So, but you know, like the A cover is also fantastic. All right, so those were the CGC 9.8 candidates where I don't need them pressed, don't need them cleaned. I'm just going to submit them to CGC. And I have a few more comics coming. I have a Young Avengers one that I think is 9.8. I'll obviously have to double check it. The guy says it's mint. And what else do I have? I have 3 Radiant Blacks coming. The Thing from Another World variant. And I have more of the Gleason Spider-Man 55s. I bought the Virgin second prints and Virgin third prints, so the red and the blue one. And so at some point those should in theory arrive, and then I'll be able to submit those to CGC as well. So let's get into the ones that I need pressed. So again, I'm doing my thing with Strange Academy. This is the 1 in 25 Ramos version. I have one of these in 9.6 right now that I bought because I thought it was pretty cheap, but I really do want a 9.8 one. This one has the tiniest little like corner. It's not even a crunch. It's not color breaking or anything like that. Hopefully we can smooth that over to make it an easy 9.8 candidate. Next, I have 2 of the Emily Bright Strange Academy 1 character spotlight. And I think this is a big Strange Academy comic. And I think in a few years you're going to find that these are very hard to come by. That the stores did not order a lot of these compared to the A cover. Like there are a lot of Strange Academy 1 covers. And I think the character spotlight kind of got overlooked. So I am actively buying this comic book because I think that you're going to see in a few years that this one is actually really hard to get, and the story currently is revolving in the early portion around Emily, and she's kind of like the narrator, or not the narrator, but the character that everyone's relating to. The you know, mid United States girl coming into this world, and so I think this comic book could be a big deal in a few years. Next, I have 2 more copies of the Strange Academy 1 J. Scott Campbell version, and again, I love this cover. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Strange Academy, and I am submitting quite a few of them. So let's get into the A covers. So I have let's see here, 6 more copies of the Strange Academy 1 A cover. Again, this comic has already gone up significantly. This book should be $250 in 9.8. That being said, I'm not going to sell any of them unless I take a look at it and I don't think it's a 9.8 if it comes back 9.8. But that's pretty much my number 1 spec comic. There are comics that I think are undervalued, comics that I think are worth a lot when you do slab them that I buy, but really Strange Academy 1 is my spec. Next, Miss Marvel number 1. This is the first print. This copy is almost, I could almost submit it, but you know, I'm trying to even out my piles. So I'm going to get it pressed just because I want to make sure that I get this in 9.8. And it's not the first appearance. It's, I believe, the second full appearance of Miss Marvel when she's actually a superhero. And I'm going to do a separate video on this character. I really think this is a great character to invest in, but it's very confusing getting her early appearances correct. And I think the market has kind of missed the mark on it with the Captain Marvel ones. So anyway, I'll do a separate video on these and explain why I think that this is an important comic, and Marvel Point 1 All New Marvel .1 is an important comic, and where the two Captain Americas, I think it's 14 and 18, are not really that big a deal. Another Marvel .1. This is the Bradshaw variant for the first appearance of the new Nova, Sam Alexander. This is a fantastic wraparound cover. The A cover for all new or .1 is ugly. It's got the Watcher, like it's got a big bald forehead on the cover, whereas this version just has an awesome front and back, and it's the kind of comic you want slab because you can look at both sides, and it's just awesome. So two of those. Another New Agents of Atlas. Captain Marvel 8. This is the first appearance of Star. There are there are a few versions. The ones that look like this, if you look right here, if it's yellow, that's just the A cover, and if it's red, that's the carnageized version of this. And I would suggest this one is, I'm seeing less of this one. So this is the one I'm looking for, to pick up for Star. And now with Star, like she had her mini series, I'm not sure if she's going to be a big deal or not. I have, where am I here? I have a 9.6 over here already, and hopefully this one comes back 9.8 after a press and a clean. You know, it could be a thing because she seemed like a neat character, and we'll see what happens. Next, X-Men 266, first cover appearance of Gambit, or like just the nice cover appearance of Gambit. Either his first or second appearance. I think the market has spoken, and this is the one to get. And it's a beautiful cover with Storm. I'm going to do a video on cameo versus full appearance and this and that, but really, the market's kind of spoken. This is a comic book that looks great on the wall and is considered Gambit's, uh, you know, first first big appearance. So that one's not going to come back 9.8. It's like I guess it could. I don't know. It's definitely like 9.4, 9.6, and we'll see what happens with the pressing. This is from my original collection. So I collected a few comic books back in the early 90s, and Omega Red's first appearance in X-Men 4 is one of the must-have comics. So when I got back into comic collecting in 2020 when the pandemic hit, this was the first book I wanted to go buy because again, Omega Red is just a wicked villain for Wolverine, and it's a great cover. And I was about to buy a copy, and then I went through my comics, which I hadn't really looked at, and lo and behold, I have one. And this comic was printed to hell. I took a look at it, and honestly, it's pretty fantastic. So I think I'll get a 9.8 on this. I hope. And if I do, this is going in my personal collection because again, Omega Red is awesome. I don't care if he's in movies or anything else. I would like to see him in more comics and just beating the crap out of Wolverine and vice versa. If Solomon wants to join, that's cool too. But Omega Red. And then finally, I did a comic book unboxing with my Spider-Man #1. All new Ultimate Spider-Man #1. That's my cool Stanley signed edition. It came back in a 9.8. When I did the video, I also opened, I think I opened, what did I open? 5 of these, 4 of these. So I'd been buying the poly bags, and I was very disappointed opening the poly bags and seeing what I was getting. And like obviously this one is 9.8. None of these are 9.8, and I'm gonna get them pressed and clean. You have to press this comic book because it was in a poly bag, and then if I got one of them in 9.8, I would be really happy. but you know, they need to be pressed anyway. So get them pressed, and I'm going to submit them and hope for the best. If I get one, one pays for all, because that comic is, you know, up to $800 just for the regular comic, because it's very hard to get a 9.8, and certainly right now they're all beat up. So that is it for the comics that I'm kind of specking on, the comics I'm sending into CGC. I have a few others. I have a Merc with the Mouth 7 coming, which is the First Lady Deadpool, and a few other ones that I really like. But this is going to be my next batch going to CGC. I hope to have some comics back from CGC in the next month. They are supposed to be coming, and they've been there for a couple months. So I have 10 economy and 25 regulars, and I'm excited to unbox those on video. So anyway, next I'm going to talk about either Kamala Khan or cameos versus full appearances, or do unboxings. And so if you like the video, like and subscribe. If you want to leave a comment, go ahead and I'll respond to it. And thanks for watching. Have a great evening.